evening, ladies and gentlemen. I thought of how I might spice up this presentation a little bit, and I thought two things might do it. One is fast food, so I brought mine with me, and the other is movies. So what I'd like to do is talk to you about fast food and movies, not necessarily in that order. When I was first asked to do this and to discuss the details of the substitute levy, my first reaction after reading the statute was to think of Colonel Jessup, who was Jack Nicholson's character in A Few Good Men. If you've seen that movie, when asked for the truth, Colonel Jessup said, "You want the truth, you can't handle the truth." Well, after reading the statute, my reaction was, you want the details, you can't handle the details. Now, I don't say that out of disrespect, as Colonel Jessup did. I say it rather out of frustration. And if I share a little bit of the statute and those details with you, I think you'll share my frustration. The statute plainly stated says this: static. I will show it to you. I will work through the first half of it with you. That will make some sense. The second half of it, without the benefit of input from the Ohio Department of Taxation and the county auditors, is really hard to hear through the static. This is the statute that provides for the substitute levy. First section is fairly clear. In the initial year the levy's in effect, it generates an amount of money equal to the levy that's being substituted. Adam went through that with you. $1.575 million now under the emergency levy. During the first year turns into an equal amount, $1.575 million under the substitute levy. In each subsequent year, the levy is in effect. The levy shall be in a specified amount of money equal to the sum of the following. Here's where it gets interesting. The dollar amount of the proceeds derived from the levy in the prior year. Okay, so far so good. And then you can read it as often as we have, and you will still be led to do the same thing we did, and that is go talk to the experts, find out how it's going to be applied by the Ohio Department of Taxation and the county auditor's office, the people entrusted with the actual execution of the statute. So, what does this mean? In trying to answer that question, we do have several touchstones, if you will. There are plus factors, and that's what we talk about in the second part of the statute. It's equal to the levy dollars generated in the prior year plus. Plus what? Plus new construction, value that's been created in the school district through new construction. That means newer expanded homes. That means newer expanded commercial properties. Also, another plus factor is previously exempted property. That's property that did not pay tax previously, but because of a change in use, change of classification, now will be paying tax. We have some examples of that in the district with some of the land that was decommissioned, if you will, from school use and has now been sold by the district to private parties. Dollars and cents. How do you convert the static in the second part of the statute to dollars and cents? Well, it's going to be something that, if it's passed, goes into effect from this point forward. So we can't really project, but what we can do is go back and look at what would have happened. What if the substitute levy had been in effect during the past 4 tax years, 2006 to 2009? And we posed that question to the county auditor, and through their good offices, we were able to get some information that showed what the result would have been if the substitute levy had been in effect for the past 4 years. We'll look first at the impact on the taxpayer identified as the owner of a statistically average home in the Bucyrus City School District. with a value of $58,500. First year, as we all know by now, no change. You pay what you've paid under the emergency levy, you still pay the same amount. Second year, under the substitute levy, had it been in effect, $1.11 increase. Third year, 74-cent increase. Fourth year, $2.95 increase. Total change over 4 years, just under $5. This is where my dinner comes into play. We've all heard the commercial. We can probably sing the song, but I won't. $5 foot long if you buy 2 or more. $5 foot long. All right? Over a 4-year period. $5 foot long. Impact on the statistically average taxpayer in the Bucyrus City School District. That's one side of the equation. The other side of the equation is, what does it do? What would it have done for the district had it been in effect and it cost the statistically average taxpayers the price of this sandwich? First year, of course, no change. But you can see what happens in the second, third, and fourth years that the substitute levy is in place. The net result over that same 4-year period would have been an additional $32,625 for the Bucyrus City School District. Keep in mind that that additional revenue is generated by growth in our school district during a very stagnant time economically. We've been in a recession during the period of time covered by this what-if study, and it still generated $32,625, or would have generated $32,625 in additional revenue for the district. Why are we here? This is one of the other characters in A Few Good Men. If you recall Tom Cruise's character, he didn't want to be in the courtroom. He didn't want to be defending 2 Marines who were on trial for their lives. And he was there out of a sense of duty. And I would submit to you that those of us who are working on this committee have a lot of things that we would rather be doing than talking about school funding, school levies. But we're here out of a sense of duty to put this opportunity before the voters of the Bucyrus City School District. Mr. Weidemeyer is going to stand up here in a few moments, and he will be sharing with you some of the prospects that our district faces in the very near future, based on certain things that are happening in our community and the local economy. We feel that we would have neglected our duty had we not put the substitute emergency levy before the voters at this particular point in time. And I think when Mr. Weidemeyer makes his presentation, that point will be made more clear. Thank you.